Welcome to another episode of our podcast, where we explore the rich history and society of Afro-Colombians. Today, we delve into the early moments of slavery within the colonial processes worldwide. We are reminded that, despite social class, ethnicity, or gender, we are all human beings sharing the same qualities.
How did the initial phase of slavery unfold within the colonial processes worldwide? Let's take a closer look at the beginning of the Afro-American experience. Our focus today is on Spain. Despite the altruistic intentions expressed by Queen Isabella in her will, the conquistadors, even during the harsh conquest, subjected the indigenous population to conditions beyond what the Queen had envisioned. This led to a form of virtual enslavement, notably through the infamous Mita system, particularly the mining Mita that caused widespread suffering and demographic decline.
Fray Bartolomé de las Casas, a fervent advocate for indigenous rights, witnessed the population decline firsthand. His influential work, Brevísima Relación de la Destrucción de las Indias Occidentales, prompted a royal audience, where tears were said to have welled in the eyes of the monarch. Bartolomé proposed the introduction of African labor to replace the dwindling indigenous workforce, setting the stage for a new chapter in history.
Years later, the decision to bring Africans to the Americas became a reality. Spain, along with other European nations, made contracts with countries like Germany, Belgium, Portugal, France, and England to engage in the transatlantic slave trade. The question arises, did slavery exist in Africa before the European invasions? The complex dynamics of tribes complicit in the slave trade are explored, highlighting the unfortunate legacy that resulted in the transportation of thousands to the Americas.
The arrival of enslaved Africans in Cartagena de Indias, a significant slave port, marked the beginning of a systematic and dehumanizing process. Estimates suggest that annually, between 20,000 and 40,000 slaves disembarked in Cartagena. The distribution of these individuals in Colombia varied, shaping their experiences based on geography, contributing to differences in behavior and culture among Afro-descendants.
Afro-descendants, often treated as property, faced grueling conditions during the transatlantic journey. The inhumane treatment aboard ships, coupled with the spread of diseases, led to a significant loss of life. The impact of slavery on the indigenous population and the forced migration of Africans to replace them in labor further complicated the social landscape.
The infamous cimarrones, initially referring to rebellious Afro-descendants, found refuge in remote areas, resisting the oppression of their European masters. Over time, the term evolved and is now used more commonly in the deep plains. The survival and resilience of the cimarrones are evidenced by the establishment of communities like San Basilio de Palenque.
San Basilio de Palenque, born out of the resistance led by Bencos Bioho, a former African prince, stands as a symbol of autonomy and pride. Bencos Bioho's struggle against Spanish rule and the subsequent recognition of Palenque's autonomy through a royal decree shaped the destiny of this resilient community.
The preservation of the Palenquero language and cultural traditions remains a testament to the perseverance of the Palenqueros. Notably, figures like Joe Arroyo and Pambele, despite not being Palenqueros themselves, celebrated their Afro-Colombian roots, contributing to the cultural tapestry of Colombia.
As the country moved towards independence, promises of emancipation were made, but it was only during the presidency of General José Hilario López that the decree of emancipation for all free men was signed. The complexities of the emancipation process and the struggles for freedom echo through history.
Today, recognizing the rights of Afro-Colombian communities, their cultural heritage, and the declaration of the International Decade for People of African Descent reflect Colombia's commitment to justice and equality.
As we conclude this episode, we've scratched the surface of Afro-Colombian history, acknowledging the deep-rooted struggles and triumphs that shape their identity. Join us next time as we continue to explore the multifaceted tapestry of Afro-Colombian history and society.